I'm like trying to figure out all the technology buttons and all of the things, you know. So welcome. I'm in this new, like, okay, we're going to go live on LinkedIn. We're going to go live on YouTube. We're going to go live on all the different places. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how to click all the buttons. So we're here.
We're
Hi,
here.
Queenie.
Hi.
How are we today?
Good.
Tell me something to win in your world when it comes to being in your feminine. What's a win in your world?
We're doing it right, Melissa.
Mm,
We're doing it right.
yeah,
We're not doing it the fast way. We're doing it the right way.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know that.
yeah, yeah.
How about
How
you?
would you know that?
By looking at the other women in the money space
Okay.
and what's happening right now and what backlash, for lack of a better term, they're getting for being superficial and
Mm,
salesy, and it's not good. And
no.
so I know that you and I are in the right place and we're
Yeah,
doing the right work. I know it.
yeah, yeah. So today, what I want to really talk about. So first and foremost, for those of you who are watching, I made a decision to do a series called The Feminine Shift. And this is where I believe that we as women start to unlearn hustle from the body and we start to lead from the body and what it actually takes to lead and live and build success without disconnecting from our bodies. And this is what I'm so passionate about with you, is because we've got some work to do. You know,
We're
we've
doing
got
it.
some work. Yeah, we are. We're totally doing it. And we got some work to do. And so obviously you and I are doing a retreat this summer and we do a lot of work together. And so with you being my first guest, I really want to talk a little bit about when it comes to for you and particularly with women, how are women ultimately, starting to take radical responsibility in their life financially? Like, what's the biggest thing that you're noticing real time in the feminine shift? And I want to preface it on this because I think this is really fucking alive for me right now. Um, Beyond live, ridiculously live, real time for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, is how do you help women navigate shifting from hustle, but ultimately building self trust when it comes to money?
Well, there was two questions there. Let me talk about the first
Okay.
one and then we'll jump into the second one. The first is that typically, not always,
Yep.
but typically there's an event,
Yep.
some kind of event.
Hmm.
It could start way back at 18 years old, your parents kick you out of the house.
Yep.
It could be you graduate college. It could be a divorce, which is what it was for me.
Yep.
Way before the divorce
Yep.
was when I woke up and realized, oh shit, if I don't do something about this, no one's going to do anything about this.
Yeah.
It could be a career change. A lot of women get pink listed. What is it? Pink slipped. A lot
Yep.
of women get fired. So a wake up call, one way or the other, can be the catalyst for
Yeah.
women to go, oh, if I don't change whatever this is, no one's going to,
Totally.
and or not making enough money. So there's an event, there's a pain point, there's something happening in a woman's life where she realizes there's no one else here to fix this.
Yep. Yep.
And this could be avoidance, this could be pain in our bodies, this could be cancer, this could be a lot of things. This
Yeah.
could
Totally.
be domestic abuse, alcohol abuse, this could
Verbal
be
abuse.
workaholic.
Yep.
This could be I'm just not happy in my marriage. We're not having
Totally.
sex. I'm not happy in my marriage. That's a catalyst for change.
Yep.
So that's what I'm typically seeing. There's a wake up of like, what I've been doing isn't working anymore. I'm not
Yep.
happy. I don't feel good. How do I change it?
Yep.
The other question about hustle culture is realizing that hustle culture has been sold to us in a masculine paradigm and it's killing all of us.
Totally. Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that you're seeing women that it's impacting women? Like, what do you see happening real time?
Well, two opposite ways of being. The first is overworking.
Okay.
Workaholic.
Yep.
I have to work more to get where I want to go, and therefore I can't turn it off. And even when I am off, I'm not really off. I'm on vacation, but I'm on my computer just overworking. And
Yep.
we teach a lot about our nervous systems, and
Yep.
that's a nervous system response to
Yeah.
trauma and also to not feeling safe.
And I want to talk about what happens when you don't take action. So we'll talk about the cost of
We'll talk about
waiting.
that.
Yeah.
The second on the opposite end of the spectrum is functional freeze, don't doing anything. I'm not
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yep.
Sorry, don't doing anything doesn't make sense. I'm not doing anything. I'm on the couch at the end of a long day. I'm using excessive alcohol to numb myself. I
Hmm.
work I work all day and then I go home and I literally do nothing. I avoid, I doom scroll. So there's the workaholic, and then the opposite end of the spectrum is someone who's stuck, their nervous system is shut down, collapsed. They're
Yeah.
not doing anything.
Yep. Yep. And so this is why Lisa and I work so well
Yeah.
together, in regards to women, the shift in women, right? And so what we know to be true about women is that more women are leaving corporate America, more women are wanting to become entrepreneurs, more women want obviously a piece of the pie. And a lot of women just want to have their autonomy and their voice around financial of like, hey, if I want to go buy my latte, let me go buy my latte, right? Like, this is the real time of what we're seeing, right? Like, I was raised in an environment, around money, and particularly, I've talked about this multiple times on podcasts with you, is like money was a form of manipulation, right?
Yep.
Like, my mom lied, my mom hid money, my mom, and my stepdad did the same. So they did the dynamic both to each other. So let me be transparent, right? Like, they had a very toxic relationship around money. They didn't talk about money, they hid money. There was no open, honest, uncomfortable conversations about money. And for me, that put a drive in me in particularly was like, oh, fuck that. I know what I don't want. So it actually put me in, if I'm going to be transparent, it took my nervous system and it put me in a state of sympathetic activation, which ultimately means like, I must now. I had this sense of urgency of like, get me the fuck out. And this is what happens when the nervous system is in that sympathetic, right? And so this is where the overworking comes, right? It's like overdoing or overworking because it's like, I'm doing everything to avoid from that happening. Because if that was my past, I'm going to do everything to avoid that. So, how do we reverse engineer that? Well, through the work that you and I do, and particularly is number one, identifying, where the nervous system loops. So, kind of back to what you were saying, from a nervous system perspective, when we're waiting to take action in our life, financial action, emotional action, going for the job, right? When we don't take action, right? What happens is our bodies immediately go, I know something needs to change. I know something needs to change. We feel this urgency. I need
Before we actually do the thing.
before we actually do the ever thing. Or nervous system goes into freeze, but I can't.
Hmm.
And then this is where the pattern becomes frozen because the very thing we want to move towards might be too overwhelming in the sensation. So this is how we loop. So I'm going to make a generous assumption is that when women come to you,
Yeah.
do they believe they know they need to shift?
Yes.
Okay, so they're conscious of it. They know they need to shift.
Yes, they know that they cannot continue to do what they're doing.
Okay,
And so
great.
that's when the email comes, or the LinkedIn message comes, or
Yep.
the referral email comes from a
Yep.
financial advisor, like, hey, what I'm doing emotionally, somatically is not
Yep.
working. Lisa knows what she's doing. Go
Yep.
talk to Lisa. Or I know Lisa knows what she's doing. I'm going to schedule a call or come to one of her events or
Yep.
whatever that is.
Yep.
And I want to pause really quick for anybody watching this. I am a certified neurolinguistic programming trainer. I have been in the financial space for the last 12 years. I had my Series 65's license. I was working in a high net worth firm. I've been doing emotional intelligence work. I have over 3,000 hours, way over that now, of work in this space. And before that, I was in higher education. I've been coaching, advising, and mentoring people legitimately for the last 20 years. And Melissa, really quickly, share what are
Sure.
your credentials?
So I've been in the mental health space for the last 15 plus years. I am 2 NLP certified neuro-linguistic programming. I got it back in 2016. Prior to that, I had my master's in nutrition. Prior to that, I was a personal trainer. So I've spent the last 15 to 20 years like peeling the onion back when it comes to health, right? When we just talk about health in general, like there's physical health, right? There's emotional health. So I've made it my life's work to really understand down to a cellular level about mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And so the last 5 years of my life, I've dedicated somatic therapy and psychedelic work around the emotional landscape and the nervous system patterning and the familiarity and the patterning. Because for me personally, my mindset was solid. I was like, oh, I could do this. I know. And I followed through. Like I had that neural pathway and experience. I developed self-trust. If I know it, I'll figure it out and I'll make it happen. So that neural pathway was formed from when I left my husband at 20 years old. And I was like, I will flex that muscle. But what I was finding as I was getting older is that my relationship to work, my relationship to alcohol, my relationship to the quality of the men that I was attracting, like energetically and emotionally, it was very, I like to talk about it, it was very destabilizing. This was like my nervous system all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And my body just had hardwired of like that sympathetic urgency. I must now. And so through the years, I was just like, okay, this is not healthy. But I had to really understand what it meant to actually do body work, get into the body, release the trauma, help the body to discharge those survival loops. Because what happens is I had a lot of unprocessed survival loops in my body that needed a safe space to discharge and get out. And so again, why you and I work so well together is you bringing in the mindset perspective, me bringing in the nervous system, really helping women to understand how can I take aligned action in any area of my life, and I could do it and I feel safe and I trust myself to do it. And that's so fucking crucial. Is the key I want to be clear on here is trust, building self-trust.
Self-trust. And I wanted you to share your credentials. Also, she's a certified psychedelic facilitator and breathwork facilitator. She walks the talk personally, and so do I. But the point is this, that there are a lot of coaches out there and experts out there that are going to use a lot of buzzwords that Melissa and I are using. And I think it's really important for you to know and understand that not only are we walking the talk for ourselves, we have our own individual journeys, but we're certified and credentialed in this work. We're doing it legitimately and in a safe practice.
Totally. Totally. Safety is
So
huge. It's my number one core value.
I know
Safety is
it
my
is.
number one core value in any of the work that I do, because knowing what it's like to feel unsafe for most of my fucking life,
Yeah.
literally, like legitimately, physically not feeling safe, there is nothing that gives me the utmost joy for the work that you and I do. When a woman reclaims and reconnects to her fucking power, and she knows how to take aligned action where she is no longer self-abandoning herself. Because here's what happens when we self-abandon, okay? When we self-abandon, every time that we override some flavoring of truth. Now, first of all, when I asked you earlier, how do women know they need a shift? Well, you said they're either referred to me, they're having conversations, right? Women get gut feelings.
Yeah, we do.
We get gut feelings. We can feel something's off. We know there's a subtle shift that's happening. Now, for most women, We ignore that.
Mm-hmm.
We ignore it. Now, what happens is every time that we ignore that or we don't lean into that, over time, it creates loss of self-trust. It creates a disconnection from your intuition. You increase intolerance for misalignment. And I'm going to say that.
AKA bullshit.
I'm going to say that slower. You increase intolerance for misalignment. I'm living this right now. I'm literally in this right now, real time.
Right. I know you are.
Seriously.
I know
And
you are.
you also develop emotional numbness and burnout. Because what happens is that when the body starts to talk and we don't listen, we erode its self-trust.
Yeah.
So this is why no one's fucking coming. No one's coming financially. No one's coming to build the life that you know you want for yourself.
Yeah.
No one.
That's true. No.
You know?
No. It's a big conversation that
Mhm.
we are working to simplify. And what we know is that with the women that we work with is that their words specifically is that they want peace,
Yep.
sovereignty,
Yep.
control,
Yep.
and they want to feel good. They
Yep.
want to stop feeling anxious. They want
Totally.
to stop feeling like with anxiety. They want to stop being in breakdown.
Yep.
They want to feel good, but they don't know why. So
Yep.
for anybody who's watching, let me point you into why that happens specifically. And I'm going to use our stories as a parallel.
Okay.
First of all, we're both Italian. We're different kinds of Italian, but
We
we're
got
both
spice,
Italian.
girl.
We're spicy. But then the second thing is that neither of us grew up around money.
No.
And
Nope.
and that's the bridge to wealth that you and I are working toward independently. And where I think, thrive is supporting other women. I work with men and women, but women in our world to bridge the gap of our nervous systems and our internal. This is an NLP framework, but stick with me here. Our internal representation of wealth.
Yeah.
Because when you're not born around wealth, and to take it even a step further to your life specifically, when you're born around chaos
Yep.
and pain, there's a
Yep.
pain paradigm.
Yep.
If you're not raised around money, there's a lot of pain associated with that, one way,
Mhm.
shape, or form. Your context and your nervous system will resist the thing that you don't know,
Exactly.
which is different. And that's where I think we thrive, is working with women who are successful, but have met themselves at
Yeah.
their limit,
Yeah. And
whether that be $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, $250,000 a year. You can't get past that because you don't have the capacity or the internal representation of what to do with that.
yep. I agree. And I think what's also important about too is like from a shifting perspective, right? Is that also too is that as we grow financially, right? Imagine what it's like having a partner that can amplify that even more,
Yeah.
right? And what I mean by that is that there are relationships where a man, healthy, mature, masculine men, want to do nothing but elevate their women. They want to elevate them. They want to see them succeed. They don't want to control them or shrink them. And so that is the other thing that I think is also crucial to the conversation is that true feminine shift is yes, make your wealth, be successful, feel into your body, understand your body. But then there comes a level of, can I allow myself to even expand and receive even more? Right. And it's so fucking possible. Like, and I love that this is so, it's just so crucial, you know? And it's like when we can help women to understand that pain paradigm, right? What's it costing you? What is it costing you for staying in a job, staying in a relationship, right? That is bringing nothing but pain
Pain.
and feeling like you're shrinking.
Yeah.
And
It's not
this, huh?
it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
No,
No.
never.
Right.
And this is where we get to help women understand their bodies, build safe processes to take aligned action, to take aligned
Aligned
action,
action.
aligned
And to
action.
create results. And to create results.
1000%.
Create results that feel good.
Yes. And
And
understand the difference.
yeah. So to take it like way, 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 way back for me to parallel that is that I was molested at the age of like 3, 4. I have vivid
Mhm.
memories of that happening, and short like in the years between 3 and 10, I had some experiences in my body that then didn't feel safe, and also there was a lot of shame that went with that. And then right after that was that sex is not safe and
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good, and my ability to create results from pleasure and to experience pleasure went offline.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
went offline.
It disconnected.
It disconnected. And so if
Yeah.
I wasn't working hard and if I wasn't pushing through and if I wasn't bearing down my emotions, I wasn't doing it right. And so pleasure, that word in and of itself for a very long time felt very shameful and
Yeah.
very wrong.
Yeah.
And for women with the feminine coming online and the feminine doing the work that we have to be doing right now, and we're seeing this real time, Melissa, on the center stage, men and women politically, there's so much pain for us to work
Oh,
through,
yeah.
but more pain won't make the shift.
No, it will not. It will
And
not.
it's pleasure, not a sexual kind of pleasure, but
No.
joy,
Yeah.
ease,
Yeah.
grace,
Peace.
rest, peace.
Yeah.
That's the feminine shift
Big
that
time.
that we are desperately crying out for.
Yeah.
And you and I have created this amazing formula to help women work through this shit, not
Yeah.
alone, in community, as women were born to be in community.
Yeah. And I love that you brought that because I talk a lot about this and we talk about this at Unleash Your Capacity retreat that we are doing this July 16th. Anyone watching, we have space left, by the way.
Yes.
When we have pain over here or multiple lived experiences where there was pain, right? Our neural pathways in our brain develop adaptations as familiarity.
Yes.
Fast forward, when you do get pockets of pleasure, or you do get pockets of ease, or you do get pockets of peace, you can be unconsciously self sabotaging this to create more of this.
Yeah.
I see this real time with relationships in general, where it's like, oh, we don't fight, we're peaceful, we're good, something's wrong. And it's like, but really, is there?
Yeah.
But really, is
Is
there?
there?
But
Why
really, is
can't it
there?
just be great?
Right. Because again, familiarity, if there has been more pain, more chaos, more discord, and then there's this peace and this ease and this fluidity happening, it might register in your system. Ooh, something's wrong. I
Let me
don't,
go fuck it up.
let me go fuck it up. Let me go throw salt on the wound. Like, let me go throw salt on the wound. So it's really important to see, because here's the also the other truth is that what Lisa and I are saying is that wherever you are financially, romantically, career
In
wise,
career.
right? If there is legitimate pain, you have sleepless nights, you're using some form of a coping strategy every night, lots of alcohol, right? You're shopping, right? There's no judgment. These are all coping strategies that are deployed for a reason. We talk about this at the retreat. And most importantly, is that that pain, that pain that is constantly there and you're feeling it, you are going to want to learn how to access safety. You are going to want to learn how to access creating pockets of reprieve in your system. And this is where you start to change the needle. Because fast forward in the future, when you've had more lived experiences of ease, abundance, pleasure, joy, and then all of a sudden, boom, someone, something is constantly creating discord or chaos, you can go, okay. Maybe it's an opportunity for growth, which it can be. Maybe it's an opportunity of a learning lesson, which it can be. But ultimately, if it is a learning and it is a growth, and you've met that learning and you've met that growth, and there's still constant pain, you know what you need to do. And why not have the tools to navigate that? If it wasn't for meeting Lisa, I'm going to give Lisa a plug right now. I met Lisa in 2018. I bought her book, Girl, Get Your Shit Together. And I was dating a guy and I was like, I want to get my money story right because I really like this guy. Wrong answer. It should have been like, I want to get my money story right for me. But that was the internal motivator. It was like for a thing, right? That was my internal motivation at the time. And I remember hiring Lisa and I remember like, okay, here we go. I'm in it. And it was the first time that I started having radical, honest conversations around my finances. It was the first time that I was like, okay, I'm ready. And from that time, since 2018, I have made it my life's mission to take aligned action financially, and particularly financially, in the very thing that I want. No one else. I have made it my life's mission the last 7 to 8 years to go after the life that I want financially. And there's a level of just confidence that has developed in myself that I think that we need to touch on, is that every time that you show up for yourself, you develop more self-confidence in yourself. You develop more self-trust for yourself. And that when something happens in the future, you're more well-resourced, right? With tools and resources to help you to navigate through that. So plug to you, Queen.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a really powerful distinction, Melissa. And I believe more women are coming online and awakening to this real time.
Yep.
That it's not what our parents want for us. It's not what society wants for us. We've played that game and it doesn't work. But as a woman matures, I'm 46, you're 44. As a woman matures, there's this wake up call of going, wait a minute. Who am I doing this for? God, my kids, my parents, what? So you have to know yourself, to love yourself, and it is deep work. There is no quick fix. If someone is selling you a quick fix, they are lying. There's no quick fix. And the only way out is through. You've got to feel it to heal it. And so we're not just here to give you some mindset tricks or some strategy. We want to give you a real-time opportunity in a few ways to step into the ring with us and heal what you need to heal, because the journey never ends. I've been on a healing journey for years, and there's always another level with awareness, with practice. It's not a 4-day event that you go to. I have several. We're doing Unleash Your Capacity in July together for women to come and learn what it actually feels like to pause, to feel safe, to play. In community. We want to give you an experience that shows your minds, that shows your brain and your nervous system that there is another way to operate. But it's going to take some work. And for those of you who are ready to jump in, we are ready to jump in with you.
Oh, hell yeah. The work always happens. I mean, let's get real. You know I'm real. I gave my ring back, girl. Let's talk real. Let's make it live. I gave my ring back. Right? So when Lisa and I say we're the real deal, let me be very clear. I'm real. And everything that you and I do is fully fucking embodied. Right? So when we talk about we think someone's coming to rescue you, I was willing to give a ring back that was given to me less than a year ago to spend my life with somebody. And the veil revealed itself real quickly how that was a false illusion. And that illusion was so bullshit. And so I had to ask myself in those moments of like, something's off. Instead of questioning myself, instead of numbing myself out, I kept listening and listening and listening and aligning and listening and aligning. and I asked some hard questions to myself, to the person,
Yeah.
and I got real time the answer. And I said,
Yeah.
you can have your ring back. And so this is the work, because the truth is you have to be so fucking committed to what you believe you are worthy and deserving of. And so the moment I took that off and gave it back, it was like, oh, let me be clear. I know my self-worth. And just because someone gives you a ring, that don't mean shit. And so real time for any women that is watching, like Elisa's saying, that we're the real deal. We are the real deal, because we are walking ourselves through uncomfortable challenges, life crunchy butt moments,
Yeah.
as I like to call. And we're more resourced than we've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that being said, any women that's watching this, and if there's something that like is clicking for you and you want some real-time tools, next Saturday, April 11th, Lisa and I are hosting an event. Do
Mm-hmm.
tell Miss Lisa, what's our event?
Oh, it's called No One's Coming.
Okay.
No One's Coming. The cost of waiting is your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're 30, if you're 40, if you're 50, if you're 60, and you know that you've been in some ways playing the game of someone's going to rescue me and change my life, that's not true. And also, what I will say is if someone has bailed you out over and over again, this is your wake up call. This is your wake up call,
Yeah.
because we've seen that too. No One's
Oh,
Coming. There is $100 trillion transferring intergenerationally as we speak. It's happening real time. Women are positioning ourselves to become the leaders of the world financially, and you have to get off the sidelines of your life thinking that someone's going to change and fix your life for you. And to be clear, you're not broken. You're not broken. Everybody's whole and complete as they are, but that's your journey to realize that for yourself. We want you in this room with us to learn real time what it takes to be able to get off that ledge, quit the job, leave the
leave the
marriage,
relationship.
get, get back to the gym,
Yeah,
raise,
man.
raise your worth, raise your net worth, finally step into the office of the financial advisor, finally doing the healing work that you need to do, whatever that is for you, finally going to the doctor.
Yeah.
No one's waiting. This is your time. This is our time as women. And Melissa and I are going to take you through a 3-hour experience where we have 3 key principles that you're not just going to learn. We got to get you out of your mind. We're going to get you into your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we want to do is have you what we're planning on doing, so everyone, you know what it is that you want, to make a bold declaration. Speak your truth.
Speak your
Tell the
truth.
truth. I've
Speak
had
your
women
truth.
at live events for the first time raise their hand in front of a live audience and say that they want a divorce. Speak it out. Say it, whatever it is. I'm not promoting divorce, by the way. I'm just saying that, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, there's a
And
chance
I
that
bet
you
you
lose
when they
it.
said that, I bet you they probably either broke down, cried, had some body response, right? Because when you suppress that shit, it will kill you.
Yeah.
It will kill you slowly.
Yeah.
It really will. And this elevates my blood pressure to the nth degree, because I believe that a woman should feel safe to even say that.
Yeah.
Whether she follows through with it or not, can a woman feel safe to be in her fear? Can a woman be safe to be in her vulnerability? Can a woman be safe to be in her emotional expression? Because the moment that you shame her or you judge her or you try to suppress her, no, sorry, that does not work. Wrong, game over. We've got to give a safe place for women to speak up. And I love that you said that. Let's bring it up. Speak some truth.
Yeah. Here's another example of a declaration that you could be ready to make. You just don't know how to do it, and we're going to lead you there and we're going to get you there. Is I want to be an author. I want to start a business, right? I want a multi-million dollar business. I want to own, operate, control my own wealth. Like, there are so many kinds of declarations that this event is for. It's for a woman who says, "Let's go. I'm ready and I'm scared, but Melissa and I are going to support you and show you the way. So we want you there April 11th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's 3 hours, cameras on, 20 women max. Seats are filling. Join us.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
go. And
we have a
we have a
code.
special code. We
Yeah.
do.
By watching this, use the code SAVE200 and
Capital Save.
capital SAVE 200. And there you go. We want you in the room with us.
We do. We do. Lisa, as always, this is the feminine shift where we own our worth, speak our worth, step into the arena, coming from our bodies versus survival.
Yeah.
This is where I believe we make the change. So thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.